In this video, you'll learn what tracks are and how to use them. Every object in Timeflow has a track channel, indicated by the colored bar area on the same horizontal row as each object. Tracks are a special type of keyframe channel used to animate the object's visibility or active state. Each track can have one or more regions of activity indicated by track sections with start and stop points. Any areas outside of or between track sections are effectively inactive. In addition to controlling the active state of the object and its behaviors, tracks can also be used to group and edit animations. Track modes and other advanced features are covered in a later video. Track sections can be selected like keyframes by clicking on them, showing the highlighted selection in yellow. Hold the Shift key to select multiple track sections, or drag a marquee box to select in bulk. There's also a selection tool at the bottom of the window that allows you to filter this selection to include both tracks and keyframes, only tracks, or only keyframes, depending on what you're working on at the moment. Note that when the timeline area has keyboard focus, you can also use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl-A to select all tracks and keyframes in the current view. Tracks are locked by default and automatically fill the full length of the timeline, which prevents editing. To unlock a track, select it in the track view and turn off the lock icon in the info panel in the lower left. If auto is enabled, it may also be unchecked, or otherwise it will become disabled once any changes are made to the track length. Tracks can be adjusted by clicking and dragging either end of the track section, or by entering the values numerically in the info panel. Tracks can also optionally display a label for organization and making notes. Similar to keyframes, each track section can be disabled by selecting it and toggling the stopwatch icon. You can also use the shortcut key number 0 to toggle the enabled state of selected tracks and keyframes. To prevent any further changes, track sections can be locked, which still allows them to be selected but prevents dragging or modifications. More than one track section can be added on the same object to create multiple or repeating areas of activation. To insert a new track section, Control-click in any empty area of the track. Note that the length of the track section inserted is based on the current grid size. When creating and moving tracks, you'll also notice that they are not allowed to overlap, so that each section represents a unique range of time. If a track is moved over another, it will show ghosted and overwritten upon releasing the drag. There are also additional track editing features in the context menu by right-clicking selected tracks. For example, we can divide a track at the current time by selecting Split Tracks. This cuts the track at the current time, creating two portions. These sections can then be moved and arranged independently. Tracks can also be joined together, as well as split or joined by the work area. It is often helpful to set selected tracks to the work area. At any point, you can reset tracks to restore them to the full length of the timeline. This is the same as clicking the auto checkbox in the info panel. Note that by doing this, all other track sections for this object are removed. Next up, we'll go over behaviors and channels.